What up, dude bros? I'm Frank. This is a video review of the Nerf Elite 2.0 Loadout Pack. The Loadout Pack includes 3 different blasters in one purchase. The Technician, a spring-powered pump-action 2-shot Smart AR system blaster. The Quadfire, a spring-powered 4-shot Smart AR system blaster. And the Ace, a spring-powered single-shot Jolt reskin. Let's get into it. Included with the Loadout Pack are the 3 blasters and darts. External overview of each blaster one by one, starting out with the Technician. Up front we have no in-strike barrel lug. Up top we have an iron sight, which corresponds with this iron sight here. And on the top of the blaster we have an in-strike tactical rail, so if you want to put an optic or something, you totally can. No optic is included with this combo kit. Down below we have the priming handle. This is a spring-powered blaster to prime. You do that. The prime strength required is in line with other Nerf Elite blasters on the market right now. And it's a pretty smooth prime with a return spring, so it feels pretty good to prime this one. To the barrels, there are 2 front-loading barrels right here, which you can front-load like this, and they put this bar in there just to make the reload more difficult. I'm kidding, it's so it looks cool, but it is more annoying to load this one. This blaster has a capacity of 2 darts, but it only shoots 1 at a time using a Smart AR system and is not a shotgun. Moving back, we have a really narrow sling mount right here, and in the rear we do have an in-strike stock attachment point, so you can put on a stock if you'd like to. No stock is included with the blaster, but it's compatible with your in-strike stocks, which is pretty cool. Moving down to the trigger pull is pretty standard. This blaster surprisingly does not have slam fire. And now down to the grip. Overall, it's a pretty comfortable grip. It's a little more narrow than the Nerf Elite standard, but it's not alienating to my giant hand at all. I think this grip will be accommodating to hands of pretty much all sizes. It's pretty well designed. The grip angle is a little bit wonky if you try to shoot it up high, but if you shoot it low, it's really comfortable. So I think that's what the blaster is designed for. And at the bottom of the grip, we have a slinger lanyard mount here. That is an external overview of the Technician. External overview of the Quadfire, starting up front. There's no in-strike barrel lug. Never gonna get old, ever. I will never stop. You can't make me. But up front, we have the 4 front-loading barrels to load. You can just push your darts in like this. Capacity of 4, but this blaster shoots 1 at a time. It is not a shotgun. And just like other Smart AR systems with this design, the top barrel shoots a little bit harder than the bottom one. You get a little bit less power as you move down. But above the barrels is this super wonky giant sight, which is comically large. It's a really big sight, but given the inaccuracies of Elite darts, it's actually not big enough. Oh, zinger. Moving down under here, we have an in-strike rail, so if you want to put on a bayonet attachment or something cool, you totally can. And moving down to the trigger pull feels pretty standard. This blaster does not have slam fire. And down to the grip, this grip is smaller than the Elite average, but it's fairly comfortable. It's got a little bit of texture built into it, so it feels pretty nice, but overall, it's a smaller grip, but it works. And down below, we have a slinger lanyard mount right here. And in the back, we have the priming handle. This is a T-style priming handle to prime. You do that. Prime strength required is in line with other Nerf Elite blasters on the market, and it's a pretty smooth prime. However, in my opinion, I think this should have been designed to add about 1/4 of an inch of extension like that, because when it's all the way in, I find it a little bit annoying to get my fingers in there. I wish there was just a little bit more clearance so I could do it without smashing my fingers into the shell. Minor gripe, but you know me, I complain about everything. That is an external overview of the Quadfire. Lastly, the Ace, Jolt reskin. Starting up front, there's no in-strike barrel lug, but it does have a single front-loading barrel, which you can load like that. Above the front barrel is this comically large sight to match the Quadfire. It's pretty hilarious and composes about half of the blaster's volume. I'm exaggerating, but it is gigantic. To prime this blaster, you pull on the T-style priming handle like that. Feels a little bit harder to prime this one back than it should. It's not a super smooth prime, but it works. And moving up to the trigger pull is pretty standard. This blaster does not have slam fire. And now down to the grip. This grip is extremely small. I can only get 2 of my fingers on here, but that is the point of an emergency backup pistol like this, to be extremely small. So it's not super comfortable, but it works surprisingly well. That's an external overview of the Ace. Now I'll show you these 3 blasters firing. Shooting the blue Nerf Elite 2.0 darts. Now shooting the Quadfire. Now to the Jolt reskin. Operating these blasters went exactly as expected. I did not experience any jams or malfunctions with any of them. Now to the chrono results. First, the Technician shooting Nerf Elite darts 72 feet per second. Next, the Quadfire shooting Nerf Elite darts 68 feet per second. Lastly, the Ace shooting Nerf Elite darts 59 feet per second. The Technician and Quadfire are shooting as they ought to, roughly 70 feet per second, which is the Nerf Elite par. The Ace is shooting slow for a primary standard, but as an emergency backup, 59 is pretty good. That is the objective information I can provide on these blasters. Now to my personal opinion. Overall, I'm pretty disappointed in the quality of these blasters. Now they shoot just fine, and I did not experience any jams or malfunctions, but the fit and finish, the feel of these blasters is not worthy of the Elite logo. If they repainted them to be yellow and called them Alpha Strike, I'd say okay, they're great little budget blasters. But they're called Elite. These blasters are not worthy of the Elite name. That's BS, Hasbro. The plastic that they use in all of them is just cheaper than normal Nerf Elite blasters or Modulus or any other series out of Nerf. This feels like a Busby piece of trash. It just doesn't feel like a good Nerf gun. Sorry, Busby, but you guys know you use crappy plastic. It's to save money, whatever. It's not top-tier plastic. It doesn't have a top-tier fit and finish. Neither do these blasters. They're cheaper, they're lighter, they're flimsier, the plastic doesn't feel good. I don't like the fit and finish of these. So I don't like any of these, but that's just my personal opinion. Now to the question, to buy or not to buy. These blasters mechanically operate just fine. I did not experience any malfunctions, and they fire just as hard as other blasters on the market. So if you're seriously strapped for cash and you're trying to look for 3 blasters like this, I mean, fine, you could buy it and be happy, I guess. I'm talking like the impulse purchase people who are looking for a Nerf gun, they were hanging out with their friends, they just want to fling foam for one night, then they're gonna throw the blasters in the closet and forget they even exist. Fine, these blasters are made for you, otherwise known as filthy casuals. But if you enjoy flinging foam and you do it often, go buy a Quadrot. You don't need to buy this. This serves absolutely no purpose at all. Definitely don't buy it. And a Jolt feels better in the hand, and it's less expensive, and it's better built in my opinion, so you don't need this. There's no reason for any actual Nerfer to buy any of these blasters. They just don't feel good in the hands. And I'm still salty because they're misusing the Elite logo and they're damaging their brand value. These should be flown under the Alpha Strike series logo, not Elite. Because seriously, Hasbro, when someone goes and purchases this blaster and it says Elite and they feel, oh, this is cheap and flimsy, then they go back and they look at a normal Nerf gun, they're gonna think all your crap is this cheap. That's just short-sighted. You're trying to make money now, but you're damaging your brand value long-term. Think, guys. I'm getting salty. I'll slow down. I'm sorry. So to buy or not to buy, no, I don't recommend you purchase any of these. If you're that strapped for cash, I'd recommend you go out and buy 3 Jolts and just use those. It'll be a pretty fun, goofy, lighthearted Nerf war with only Jolts, but when you move on to more advanced, more expensive blasters, you will still have a place for the Jolt in your Nerf arsenal. But if you buy these now and try to move on to something more elaborate, you will never come back to these. There will be no point at all to shoot this once you have a Strife in your hands. So, probably not the opinion you were looking for. But hopefully I've laid out everything you need to know to make an educated purchase decision on your own. If you'd like to purchase these, I'll put a buy link in the description box below. That's it for this review. Thanks so much for watching, bros, and as always, stay tactical.